Following our explorations of universal consciousness patterns, let's illuminate something that affects every aspect of our lives: our relationship with money. What you're discovering today could fundamentally shift how you view every financial decision, every bank statement, and every money choice you've ever made. When we struggle with finances, whether it's chronic debt, spending spikes, saving blocks, or income ceilings, the universe isn't merely responding to our surface money habits. It's saying yes to intricate protective mechanisms operating beneath our awareness, each one designed with remarkable intelligence. Consider Thomas's journey. It illuminates how financial patterns orchestrate multiple protection layers simultaneously. He noticed his savings would accumulate to a certain threshold, then he'd experience an unexpected expense or make an impulsive purchase that reset his balance. Through careful examination, he uncovered 3 distinct protective mechanisms operating in perfect synchronization. Initially, maintaining minimal savings provided an adrenaline edge that kept him innovative and resourceful, a brilliant adaptation for someone whose early environment rewarded constant vigilance. But beneath that, his financial instability actually preserved vital social bonds. Being perpetually in process with money meant he could authentically connect with friends facing similar challenges rather than risking isolation through financial achievement. The third layer revealed the deepest wisdom. His fluctuating finances protected him from having to fully inhabit his potential. Each time his bank balance approached a certain level, it would trigger unconscious fears about increased responsibility, visibility, and expectations. His financial pattern wasn't failing. It was masterfully managing complex social and emotional dynamics. Let's explore the fascinating patterns I've observed in people's relationship with money. Each one reflects a brilliant protective strategy, and as I share these, notice which ones resonate with your own story. At the deepest level, many of us carry ancestral patterns that honor our family's financial story. You might find yourself unconsciously matching your parents' income level or maintaining certain struggles that keep you connected to your family's economic class. Some of us carry debt not because we need to, but because it maintains an invisible bond with family members who are struggling. These patterns whisper things like, "Staying in this financial position honors where I came from," or "Making more money might betray my family's history." Then there's how we protect our sense of identity through money patterns. Have you noticed how financial struggles can sometimes feel like proof of authenticity? Artists and spiritual seekers often use money challenges to demonstrate their dedication to something beyond material success. Others might unconsciously create financial difficulties to prove they're not privileged or keep their finances restricted because they don't want to become one of those rich people. It's remarkable how we use money situations to stay grounded or real. Our need for connection shapes our financial patterns in profound ways. Think about how we often keep our finances aligned with our peer group, maintaining specific challenges that help us belong to our community. Some of us preserve financial struggles because they allow us to truly relate to others who are having similar experiences. These shared challenges become a kind of currency in relationships, ensuring people connect with us for who we are, not what we have. The way we use money for safety and control reveals fascinating patterns too. Some of us create regular financial emergencies because we're actually most comfortable in problem-solving mode. Others might disrupt their financial security because calm feels unfamiliar or threatening. You might notice yourself creating certain kinds of financial chaos to stay alert and vigilant, or dispersing money quickly so it can't be taken away. Some part of us believes that keeping money situations predictable, even if limited, keeps us safe. When it comes to success, our protection patterns get particularly interesting. Notice how many of us stay almost there with finances, perpetually on the verge of breakthrough, but never quite arriving. We might unconsciously ensure we never exceed the highest level of wealth we've witnessed in our close circle. Sometimes we halt money flow just when things are getting good, or create careful gaps between achievements to process change. These patterns often protect us from the responsibilities that come with full abundance. The way we use money to manage visibility and power tells a fascinating story, too. Some of us use financial issues as a veil to maintain social invisibility, while others keep finances limited to avoid intimidating others or confronting authority issues. You might recognize how financial limitations can create a comfortable buffer zone in relationships, or how financial struggles might actually be protecting your independence. Our emotional patterns with money run deep. Notice how we might use purchases to regulate our emotional states or create financial emergencies when we need a familiar rush of excitement. Some of us use money limitations to avoid life transitions or manage the pace of change. It's remarkable how we find ways to stay within financially familiar territories because they feel emotionally safe. The connection between money and responsibility reveals another layer of protection. Some of us stay financially limited to avoid increased family obligations, while others maintain money challenges to ensure continued personal growth. You might be using financial restrictions to stay motivated, or perhaps financial instability helps you avoid long-term commitments. Notice how often we keep our earnings aligned with our sense of self-worth. And finally, consider the subtle ways we use money for avoidance and protection. Maybe you avoid looking at bank balances to maintain emotional distance from money, or use financial issues to deflect attention from other areas of life. Some of us use financial limitation as a shield against disappointing others' expectations, or demonstrate our care through financial sacrifice. These patterns might even help prove we're not materialistic. In each of these patterns lies profound wisdom. They're not problems to fix, but sophisticated solutions your system created to protect something precious. As we explore them together, remember, awareness itself begins the transformation, allowing your system to discover new ways to feel safe while welcoming abundance. What patterns do you recognize in your own money story? How might they be working together to protect different aspects of your life? Understanding these patterns is the first step toward creating new possibilities while honoring the brilliance of your protection mechanisms. These patterns often cluster and work together. Alexandra's experience illuminates this perfectly. She unconsciously timed her largest expenses to coincide with potential career advancements. Using careful observation, she discovered this wasn't self-sabotage. It was an exquisitely calibrated, protective response. Growing up with a parent whose success led to absence, her system brilliantly ensured she'd never have to choose between achievement and availability for her own children. To begin exploring your own patterns, start with what I call financial echo patterns, behaviors that seem sporadic but follow subtle rhythms. Watch for what I call prosperity pivot points, moments when your financial situation could improve but something seemingly random derails it. These pivot points often protect deep loyalties and unspoken commitments. Practice money movement mapping. Take your latest bank statement and highlight every expense that exceeds your normal patterns. For each one, pause and inquire. If this spending decision was originally a perfect protective response, what might it have been protecting? The answers often reveal surprising emotional intelligence. Implement financial frequency tracking. For 1 week, document 3 elements. 1. Record moments when money thoughts intensify. 2. Note what occurred just before these thoughts arose. 3. Explore the question, if this financial reaction was originally a sophisticated solution, what challenge was it perfectly solving? The transformation process begins with financial safety expansion. Rather than fighting existing patterns, acknowledge their protective brilliance while gently introducing new possibilities. If financial struggle maintains important connections, explore ways to strengthen those bonds through shared growth rather than shared limitation. Practice prosperity permission protocols. Create small, safe experiments with allowing more abundance. If checking accounts produces anxiety, start with reviewing just one transaction category. If saving feels threatening, begin with amounts below your system's alert threshold. Introduce wealth window intervals, designated times when you consciously practice new responses to money. Maybe it's 5 minutes of imagining expanded financial possibilities without activating old protection programs. These intervals gradually teach your system that prosperity and safety can coexist. Your money patterns reflect sophisticated software developed through generations of experience. Each spending habit, each saving block, each income limitation was originally coded to protect something precious in your story. Now you're not erasing that code. You're updating it, showing your system that financial flourishing can support rather than threaten what matters most. I invite you to share what you're discovering about your own financial protection patterns. What surprising wisdom have you found encoded in your money behaviors? What new possibilities are emerging as you honor both the intelligence and the evolution of these patterns? Your insights might help others recognize the brilliance in their own financial stories. This exploration isn't about correcting financial flaws. It's about understanding the remarkable ways your system has protected what's precious while opening to new forms of abundance. Let's continue discovering together. Thank you for watching. This is Ayla, signing off.